Let's talk Hamingja. And for those of you who are not on the Norse path, we're talking about something like fate or luck. Hamingja is a Norse part of the soul that works in tandem with the other soul parts. It's a guardian spirit, not unlike the Filia, and shares many attributes with the Valkyrie, often referred to as luck or fortune, or even the luck inherent in the person. Fun note, in Vafthrusnismal 49, we find an example where the Hamingja is noted as Jotnar maidens and even have correspondences to the Nornir. Sometimes this luck or fortune can be loaned to another. It's a personal energy reserve that is a source of power for the Filia. But I'm going to concentrate now on our modern worldview and conception of Hamingja, luck, and fortune, and what we think about it and what many people believe. Some things that aren't correct. Many people ask themselves that despite all of their best efforts and good deeds, why do they continue to fail? Why do they suffer with bad luck or misfortune? Why do we see some truly crappy people do some awful things, but yet come out smelling like a rose despite everything? They don't lose their fortunes. Maybe they even gain them. But ask yourself, is what we see from them really reality? What lies below the surface? What masks? What do they suffer with that their PR campaigns don't tell you? Their public personas, maybe even their personal actions are masks that they wear if it's someone you know. Since the beginning of recorded history and even in our sagas and lore, we find a multitude of examples with individuals who have good Hamingja, luck, or fortune, some of whom truly deserve it, but others who have more unscrupulous methods about themselves, who may, under our judgments or under the world understanding or as history judges them, didn't deserve it at all. And we ask ourselves, why did they get that? When on the other hand, some really good souls suffer horribly, have no luck, and not a good fate. But if we look carefully with some objectivity and some discernment, even in those historical sources, even if in our lore and our sagas, we find those individuals who are told to have good luck, fortune, fate, and Hamingja suffer losses. They don't go without the bad patches, sometimes quite profoundly loss of loved ones, fortunes, honor, status, homes that get burned down, many difficult things, physical ailments that are debilitating. Not everything is as it seems under the surface when we remove those masks, when we look at the truth behind the whole story, or when we look objectively with discernment. Yet we surface look at these things and diminish ourselves. Wonder why we aren't the same, why we weren't gifted with the same. So many of those in our sagas and lore and historically lost everything, had complete ruin, had to start over again, had such profound losses that affected them mentally, physically, and spiritually before they achieved that later success, or that suffered through all that and strived on. Why is it that we as humans expect different for ourselves? There's a historical and spiritual lesson here that is quite profound. Old saying, Gaeth a Vird Swahiosel. Vird will go as it will. Not one thing will happen a moment before it's supposed to, despite all of our efforts, our willing it to, our desperations. We all have lessons to learn, obstacles to overcome, and wisdom to understand. This is fundamental in achieving growth. Perspective, discernment, and persistence, along with flow. The stance to never lay down our swords. The indomitable soul. Do you look objectively at these historical lessons and the lore? Do you learn from them? Or do you just sit and lament your lot in life. Things to think about. Blessings from the mad realm of runes, and nasty recon.